We're in the middle of China's manufacturing heartland. I'm building a business here on the ground in China that gives everyday Australians and Americans cost price building supplies. And we're starting with tiles. So where are we? We're in a tile manufacturing almost city here in China. And everything is on the line. I've moved my entire life to Hong Kong to make this business work, and we're spending as much time as we can literally on the ground, sleeping in factories and doing everything possible to get the best deal for our business. Come with me, I'm gonna show you what it's like to do business here in China, actually deal with like Chinese suppliers to kind of get the best deal and build the best partnerships and relationships. And we're gonna be able to do this entire journey and experience together.
You may bury my body down by the highway side.
So on our way to our first supplier meeting here in Guangzhou, China, and I've been thinking a lot over the last day about how we actually explain our BloomBuild model to our suppliers. I thought there's no better way than to literally print off some slides and talk to them about how our model actually works. So in China, there's this term called Neijuan. Hope my pronunciation's good, I've been practicing it. Neijuan, which means involution. So what's happening, and the thing that suppliers know about, is it's essentially a race to the bottom at the moment, especially in the construction materials industry. Everyone is trying to squeeze these suppliers to get their margins to be as small as possible so they can make more money. Why? Well, because today you have a tile factory that I like ones that we're going to go see today. They sell to a sourcing agent, they sell to a brand, who then sells to a store, who then finally sells to you, the customer. So if you buy a tile in Australia or the US, it's gone through all these middlemen before it got to you. That's why it's so expensive. Our sell to the supplier is they could actually sell us the tile for a bit more, $8, so they make more margin and we're not squeezing them. We can sell it to the customer for way cheaper because we're going direct to them and we're cutting out all the middlemen. Whereas like a Home Depot or a Bunnings still has to sell it for like $40 to $60 a square meter. But you see how like, we're just trying to explain this really simple, and there's Chinese writing all over it and the translation, so if they can't understand my bogan accent, at least they get it. And so what that results in is our sell to them is they'll sell us their stock, we will collect it. So we do all the collection in China, we consolidate it here in China, and then we send it directly to the customer. So they don't have to do any marketing, any customer relationships, nothing. They just deal with us and make more money. Now, the thing we want them to agree to, this final slide, is we want access to all of their stock that they currently have in warehouses. A lot of these tile suppliers aren't just like making stock based on orders. They make a lot of it and then they keep it in reserve. But the minimum order quantities are quite high. We're talking like 200, 500, 1,000 square meters, which is why a normal retail customer, like if you were to go and buy tiles, you can't just come to China and do it for a small project. So we're saying we'll buy lots over a month. We will save you tons and we'll make you tons of money. And we're going to be able to build this long-term relationship if you drop that minimum order quantity to 0. So it's a hard ask, but hence the slides. So when you're in China and you're trying to sell something to a supplier and trying to like convey an idea, this is kind of the sorts of lengths that you need to go to make it as simple as goddamn possible. So let's go see whether this actually works and whether any supplier gets on board with this and we can make our model work and stick here in China. We realize there's like the problem in China, the Neijuan. Thank you. yeah.
Good pronunciation.
Thank you. So everyone, it's like the race to the bottom. And so you obviously you'll try and compete on price, someone else will try and compete on price. And so we thought about doing a model where like you as a supplier don't get ripped off all the time. Like you guys sit here, typically someone will buy from you and then they'll brand it, then they'll sell it to a store, and then the store sells it to a customer. So by the time it gets to the customer in Australia, it's super expensive. What we would want though is, the biggest problem is these retail customers sometimes only want like 10 square meters or 50 square meters.
Yeah.
So your MOQs are sometimes much higher than that. We want to buy your stock, like the tiles you have in stock already. We collect them, we send them to Dongguan, So we pack and ship, and then we send to the customer in Australia. There he is, the big dog.
Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you too.
Fantastic. I have a new collection. I call it X Stone.
What is it? X stone. What is it though? It's a
So
porcelain.
it's a marble
Oh,
and big slab. So it's composite.
right.
Nobody does this. I'm the only one that create this.
So here's what we want to do. Essentially, our like thing that we're trying to convince suppliers, and we're getting mixed responses, is we need your like MOQs to be like 0. So what we would want is to figure out what tiles you already have in stock. So what, like in your warehouse, what's already in stock, what are those stock levels? And we would essentially list those on our website. So we would sell them on your behalf. So the only thing that you need to do is like literally just let us buy smaller orders at one point in time. And so we kind of understand in China, there's the big problem with Nui Juan,
Yes.
if I say it right. Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's trying to compete.
Yeah, for the bid with the prices.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm interested.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you have in terms of pricing for those, how would you assign a price to the
For
styles?
pricing, because you don't keep stock, so it's gonna be 20% higher than regular.
Well, but you're
customers.
already keeping the stock anyway. So it's not costing you more money, but then you're going to charge us more.
Yes.
So that doesn't make any sense, does it?
It does make sense.
How?
Well, because we put an inventory in, that's the charge. This is the strategy we are playing with. If you're buying like containers, I can guarantee you get a lowest price, same as everybody. But if you're not buying by containers, it's 20% higher.
Right. So think about it this way though. And maybe at the start of the relationship, we pay a little bit more. Right.
But as we are continue doing business, if the momentum is going good and we generate better result for you, we can lower the price. Adjustable. Where would go left or right.
Makes sense. Okay. Cool. All right. Done. Yeah. Great. Thank you for that. Easy. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
And that there is an example of how you sell to a supplier a new model. The model that we're working on here at BloomBuild, which is this whole direct to factory, you see he knows what Nui Juan, God, I hope I pronounced that right, actually is, which is this race to the bottom. And you see he's already doing things like not trying to sell the standard format, trying to look for more premium products, trying to like actually make more money. And this is what all suppliers in China are battling with. This whole idea of Westerners coming in, buying tons of products, trying to squeeze them on prices, which at the end of the day means that the supplier is left with no money. So again, our model that we're trying to introduce to them, and you saw live, he got it, he understood it. And so I'm actually really happy about, like, as you could see, that it's this idea of like a win-win for the supplier and the customer in Australia that we're selling to with BloomBuild. So you think that the tiles that we're now able to source from a supplier like him, yeah, we might have to pay 20% more. That's fine. But you know what? The Aussie customer is going to get a better product. We're going to be able to get it for them for half the price than everyone else. And we're going to be able to deliver a better service. So yeah, man, I'm buzzing. Again, this is why like being here, building these relationships is like the thing. So now it just depends on what we do with it. So he's going to send his entire stock range to us. We're going to figure out what out of that stock range we think is going to sell the best to the Australian consumer. And then we've also got to figure out how we do samples, because everyone cares about samples when buying tiles online. So where are we stocking those samples? Do we send those samples out from Australia or China? There's lots of decisions that we need to make around that. So stay tuned. We're going to be figuring all that stuff out over the next couple of days. But yeah, there you go. That's like the first time I think anyone's ever recorded on YouTube selling a supplier a new model. And there's the first guy that we think's on board with it. So we'll see. Oh, anyhow, I think he's away. Seeing
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin.
Wait,
Yeah.
this is me.
Oh, that's you.
Yes.
Are you the boss?
No.
Big boss. Is it possible for you to like send us a big spreadsheet of that and photos of what's in stock?
I need to confirm with Kevin.
What don't you like? Does it make you nervous or?
No, I mean, I'm not sure which one really has stuff in it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Because stuff every day is different.
Everyday change. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know you have 200 square meter of that tile in stock?
I have to ask him.
So it's in someone's brain.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So what's Kevin saying? Should we talk to Kevin about this, or what's the?
got the announcement.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer. On to the next. Well, I think that went well, but bro, I cannot. Can you believe that they don't keep?
So late though. There has to be a list.
Oh, this is how they work in China. They actually, it is so antiquated and backwards. And you think for a country that's so advanced that their processes would be like the best. But that is what I think China still lacks. And where the money to be made is when you're a Westerner, you're coming in and you're driving, as I said before, innovation and change. And so like for those guys, you just be like, wouldn't it make sense to keep a stock list online or digitally? It's like saying to in Australia that you literally have stock sitting in a room and no one has record of what's in there. Like that's just unheard of. So like Jennifer there was not the factory owner. She is one of the sales staff on the floor in that showroom. And so you see Jennifer's texting Kevin, the big boss who I know, who is out at a client lunch at the moment, which I knew about. So I thought I could just talk to her. No, wrong. So you think about doing business in China, it's all about who you know and what level of introduction you get. So that theory that I was talking about earlier around just trying to get the right introductions to factories for the tiles that we're trying to sell is that there is a prime example of how important it actually is. Because the owner is the one that's going to be able to actually move the needle, accept a new model, understand. You see how the first guy that we just met before, he understood the model because he is the factory owner and he can make decisions and say yes or no. Anyway, we've got a few things to work with here, but you see like having placards with Chinese translation explaining an idea actually seems to be working quite well. So onwards we go. So we are off to go see one of our next manufacturers that we have worked with before for tiles. And again, we're going to go pitch our model. We're going to go see if we can get them to unlock their stock levels and get some real pricing for retail customers. So let's go. I actually don't know which way they are. They're in here. Look where Isaac is. All right, here's me. Factory depths of China is my friend Isaac walking his dog in Australia on the beach. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than here. I have something I want to show you. I think we can buy lots of tiles off you for a good price, and you make lots of money. Do you have lots of tiles in stock?
Normally we have stock.
How do you keep record of how much stock you have? Is it like is it in someone's brain? Or is it on a list? Is it online? You have a system?
We have system to make a record of the stock. We can make a list for you.
So say after today, you send us say like the top 30 or top 50 styles. Make sure you send us the ones that are like the best selling ones, because like the better selling, we can sell, and so we'll sell better. So don't send like the, I don't know, that one, because I assume no one buys that one.
This one?
Yeah. Great, finish. Yeah. You can now go back to basketball. You run very fast. We're at our next tile supplier, which, as you can see, this literal building, if you look up, this whole thing here is their office. This is their offices. And so you think about the size and scale of this company, it's crazy. And some Australian tile manufacturers or tile distributors are already buying from them, but this is not a product or a company that the typical Australian retail customer can just like walk into and be like, I want my 100 square meters, or a developer could say, I want my 1,000 square meters. They don't do that. Their literal MOQs are tens of thousands of square meters. So this will be a harder sell. And the lady that we're meeting today, she's like, her name's Lily, and she's not senior at all. She's kind of like a normal sales rep, a senior sales rep, but we need about 7 levels up given the size of this business. So this is the start of trying to build the relationship with these guys. We've ordered from them before, which carries a lot of weight, but we'll see kind of where we can get to today. So let's go inside. Lily! Yeah, camera, but new guy. Yeah, nice to meet you again. He's the best one.
Best one, right?
Best looking,
Okay.
and very smart.
Yeah, I can see that.
So don't put this on camera. But if you want a job,
Yeah, don't do this.
yeah. No.
Want some tea?
No, it's fine. We've started a retail business, like a direct to customer. So like on smaller orders.
We have a showroom?
No, so it's better. It's all online.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we like printed some slides to explain it. Biggest problem is these retail customers sometimes only want like 10 square meters or 50 square meters.
Yeah.
So your MOQs are sometimes much higher than that.
For regular action, there's no MOQ.
Okay, so
Yeah.
great. Alright, up we go. See, look at these guys are big dogs. Literally like 25 floors of office space. Yeah, big dogs. But yeah, no, we're doing developer stuff in Australia, who we can't say who. But again, that was just our way to like test the model and our cost structures, because it's one thing getting a price, but then you have to think about duties, imports, the shipping, the last mile delivery, the storage fees if a developer wants it. But we found with developers, it's actually really hard to sell because their sales cycle is like 12 months plus. Because you think about it, they decide they want a project, they then buy the tiles, they then want the tiles delivered in 6 months. So it takes forever. And so our thought with retail and BloomBuild is like, well, it's way better to just go direct to customer. Customers obviously make a decision on a website. Do I want this or not? Whereas a developer, it's way harder. Obviously, there's more money to be made, but the margins are thinner because they want obviously more competitive pricing because they're buying more. And also, they kind of want this like throat to choke, as bad as that sounds. But they're essentially like, oh, well, the client doesn't want that type of tile anymore. They now want this type of tile after they sold the property. And so we don't want that. And so like from our perspective, it's like, well, the thing's already on a boat. We can't change it. But they're like, well, that's what we expect. We don't want to take these tiles. And so the rip-off that developers sometimes pay is so they actually have that flexibility. And that's what even they don't understand when we sell it to them. And I didn't understand because I thought we can get this for so much cheaper, and we can. So they might pay $35 a square meter. We can get them a tile for like $25 a square meter. And on, a big project, that's like $100,000+ in savings. Great. But that $100,000 typically actually goes to like admin teams in Australia, salespeople on the ground from these like national tiles, for example, that people can call. So yeah, that's why we've gone more towards retail versus developer. But for developers that we really like and that they're good brand names and we want to help, that's when we'll do like the one-off individual sourcing. So if you're a developer and you have lots of tiles you want to buy, let us know.
Because actually, I'm in charge of the Australian market.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So most of them I can.
So you're the big boss for Australia. But yeah, no, it sounds good. So you can do the stock list and everything and send that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because I know well about the Australian market,
Mhm.
and I know what products we cannot sell.
Yeah.
So I think I can give you the list.
That you can sell and then also sells what sells the best. Just focus on
I
those.
send you the list. Oh, 谢谢. Yeah, that's
Ah,
that's
谢谢.
your word. I will send you a list about what products we can sell.
Okay, done. All right, thanks, Lily.
Thank you.
I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Good to
Yeah,
see you.
Keep in touch. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you too. Yes, I do next time. Well, I thought that went well. So they're one of the biggest tile suppliers in all of Foshan so Foshan is obviously where most tiles are made here, which is where we are. And so call it China. They're one of the biggest suppliers in China. And again, they just get it, which is great. And she's the head of the I actually said I thought she was a bit more junior. Turns out she's actually the head of the Australian market, which I didn't know until then. So there we go. But yeah, really good. And so she's going to send us their stock list. Super keen. She seems they'll be willing to drop their MOQ to virtually zero. It obviously depends on price. Historically, they have been a more expensive supplier, so we just need to be careful of that. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's like a sorry, it's like virtually a win. So I'll take it. It's now 5:41 p.m. and so it's getting late. But yeah, it was like progress, tons of progress today, which was really exciting. And again, like I walked in with this script, not knowing how any one of these suppliers is going to react, and every single one of them today has been open to it. So sometimes Chinese will just tell you yes, and what they actually can do is very different to that, and there's always strings attached. So I'm not getting too excited, but it's progress. And if they didn't like it, they'd say no. Just what a day. We're back in the apartment now, and yeah, man, I'm shattered. I must say, I am pumped that we've kind of convinced a couple of suppliers today, as you've seen, that our model is worthwhile and it's something that they can that they can work with us on. And what's cool is like everything that we're filming and documenting here, I keep thinking is just like someone could, if you're an Australian watching this, the website and our business might actually be live. So if it is, you should like look in the description. If there's a link there, then you should go and buy some tiles from us and like test how good what we've been talking about in this video has actually worked. But you know, man, it's a journey. Like we've got to get the website live. We've got to still hire a China team. We've got to still, you know, really like crack our right to win in this market. And, you know, I've been talking about like tiles is our initial focus, but we kind of want to cover every single material in the building industry because no one has done building supplies online well. Will it work? I believe so. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that it does. But yeah, man, sometimes it's like, it's hard, you know, building a business and, you know, managing expectation and just like trying to do everything in your power to win. And like, I will personally stop at nothing to make sure that this business gets across the line. And whether it's 50 or 500 more versions of the day that we've just lived here together, I will continue to do that. It's what I did in my previous business. That worked pretty well. So I'm happy with that. I'll do it again. I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. So stay tuned. We'll build this business together. This is like the start. And I'm just going to try and show you as much as I possibly can so you can go and do the same thing, or you can learn from my mistakes and my hopeful successes. So stay tuned and let's keep doing this. Let's get a website live. Let's get a team hired and let's build this business together here in China. We're hiring our first employee. We're about to meet with our recruiter who's helping us find someone who can source products, make sure that our suppliers are the very best they can be, is able to quality control. So this person needs to be able to be on the ground, look at every material that's coming in so that our customers are getting the very best product. So this role is kind of like all-encompassing as a partner for me here on the ground, and we're looking for someone here in China who can be that perfect fit. So our process just started and it's going to take about 2 weeks, but we need to know where things are at. And apparently he's also got some candidates already that we can look at and start to go through. So let's go to this meeting and we'll see where things are at. So we've finished our meeting. Come on. We finished our meeting and it went really well. Look, we're probably like 2 to 3 weeks away still from finding someone on the ground here in China. We want to have our site launched. So like our BloomBuild consumer Australian site where we sell all our construction materials, starting with tiles, live in like 3 weeks. So having someone on the ground would be super helpful because of those like initial, I'll come up here. Those like initial orders would be great to have the team members here because again, we have to make sure we have the right supplier relationships and then we have to make sure that the quality control is done to a really high degree. I learned in this meeting though that the type of person they're actually looking for is someone who's less of an employee, more of like a real partner. I think because we want this person to take ownership. I'll be in Hong Kong, so I'll be super close to them. You know, Hong Kong's an hour train ride away from here where we are in Guangzhou, but they need to be a real partner. They need to be able to grow a team themselves because they aren't going to be the one all the time doing all the quality control. We have to be able to grow, find new ways to find supplies, find new ways to run our China operation. And so finding that right person from day one is critical. In my previous business, which was a software company, the best hire I ever made was our first hire, and that changed everything for me. And it wasn't because they were an employee, it was because they were a real partner, someone who took initiative, drove the business with me, kind of had a stake, bit of equity, and so they kind of treated it as their own. So think of that first employee as like an extension of you, ideally, and that's who we're trying to find. So still going to take 2 weeks, which I'm not overly thrilled about. We saw some CVs that he showed us that could be potential fits, and so maybe we'll meet 1 or 2 candidates this trip over here in China, but being on the ground here makes this journey a hell of a lot easier. So onwards. Well, it's now Saturday and we're interviewing our first Chinese team recruitment candidate. So the role we're hiring for is like a shipping and logistics QC manager. And so it's someone who can like help us figure out like who the right suppliers are. So a lot of the supplier conversations that like, that you're seeing in these videos are ones that we want to like get other people to have on the ground who are really Chinese. And so it's going to take those conversations to the next level. I'll still come and I'll still speak to these suppliers, but having someone on the ground having those conversations, careful behind you. Speaking and having those conversations is just like is next level. So this is the first candidate that we're meeting. He seems pretty good. Like he was educated in the UK, worked with a bunch of American companies before, and so we'll see. I like to like in these sort of interviews, I just try to write as much down as I possibly can. I'm also like just grading him as a person. So like, how do I feel when I'm with the candidate? What's the conversation like? You know, what is that interaction? And those are the things that, you know, I kind of really care about. And then obviously his skill set and how good he is and that sort of stuff is just, you know, obviously important, but that's kind of on the paper. So let's see how we go. On the train and we've finished a couple of days now in China and it's been huge. I'm really optimistic with where we've got to with a lot of these supplier conversations. You know, they seem to understand our model, which like I didn't know walking into this whether they would. We want to buy stock directly from their existing stockpiles versus place orders of thousands of square meters, and just the relationships that, you know, we've been building in China over the last couple of months. You know, you've seen how much they've actually carried weight into getting what we need to get done. So what I'm still kind of like worried about is we need to see how these suppliers actually perform with what they say they can do. Can they actually sell us their tile stock that already exists? Are they actually going to sell us a quality product that we can sell to an Australian consumer? You'll see how that goes. We've got to figure that out over the next couple of weeks. It is like critically important because you want this business live literally in 3 to 4 weeks time. So I'm laser focused on that. Plus we've got to get a website live. Plus we've got to get a China team built out. So there's so many moving parts, but man, I'm mega glad I'm here. But as you can see out the window, probably behind me, it's gray, it's rainy. This is not the most beautiful place on planet Earth that, you know, you could be spending time, but I don't know, it feels like it's worth it. Am I out of energy and exhausted? Yep, but there's nothing else in the world that I'd rather be doing right now, and we will make this business work to the level that we want it to work, no matter what.